Hi everyone, welcome. If you're new here, my name is Aileen and here we like to talk about all things makeup, mostly luxury makeup, skincare, and fashion. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I hope you consider subscribing and joining the family. So today I'm excited. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I went on a little shopping haul and I'll link the haul up here. So today from those products, I want to play with the new NARS Climax. And I want to give the NARS Climax Extreme Mascara a try. I've never tried this. You guys said I needed to give it a try, so we're going to give it a try. And I also wanted to give the new Teint Ultra Wear Concealer a try. I'm not one that plays around a lot with different concealers. I know what I like and I tend to stick to it. But I got really interested in this one. And then you guys said I should try the NARS. So I don't know, we'll try one of these today, or maybe we'll try both and see which one I like, one under each eye, and see what happens. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then keep on watching. But before we go, like we always say, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Let's get to it. So my little live on IG, and I did add it to my stories if you want to go and take a look. I did go on a little random shopping haul to Ulta, and I decided I wanted to give these products a try. So you guys spoke highly of the NARS concealer, and you guys wanted to see the Lancôme concealer. This is the new Lancôme Teint Idole. So the Lancôme is in shade 330 Bisque or 038 Beige Couvre. It has two shades, I don't know. I did go ahead and wet my e.l.f. concealer brush. And then my NARS concealer is in the shade medium 1.5 Macadamia. So this, I ended up picking up this shade because I was undecided. But I ended up just going with this one because it's the one I use in the NARS Soft Matte, like the pots, for spot concealing. And on my face already, I do have my brows, my bronzer routine. I'll link up here if you haven't seen it. It's definitely more than one, but I have that on today as well. And for foundation, I have the Estée Lauder Double Wear. So let's go ahead and give these a try. So how have you guys been? I promise I'm going to be, I have been in a, so on this eye, we're going to try the NARS. I have been in a bit of a slump, as I explained in my last live. I've just been, you know, going through it, got a lot going on. This whole situation in Cuba, it's one of those things that just because you're not watching doesn't mean in the back of your mind you don't know what's going on. So it kind of dragged me down. You know, school has started here in Georgia, so the kids are back in school. It's a lot. So they are in person. I did choose last year for my kids to be in person. So I will say, off first impression with the NARS, so I didn't do any color correcting like I usually do, but I feel like it's not as creamy and it doesn't like move around much. Let me see. So it's like everywhere I had it, it's where it covered, but it didn't let me like move it around. So I added a little more in that area that was blank because I usually just move it around. And my go-to concealers are the Le Correcteur de Chanel in the shade 30 Beige and the Dior Forever Skin Correct in the shade 2N. And I really enjoy those. Those are my two favorite. So it definitely provides the coverage. You can see a difference. You can see the brightness there. Let me just use this as a mirror. I like that it's not thick. It definitely covers and brightens. I feel like it made this eye look smaller than this one that has no concealer. Isn't that weird? Maybe they'll look more even once I do the other eye. But this is a nice shade. I do like this better for the under eyes than the NARS Soft Matte, the pot concealer, which is this one here, and it's in the same shade. This one to me is too drying under the eyes and a little too thick. So I really do enjoy that for spot concealing, but I do like this as just a concealer. It's not settling in the lines, but I haven't had it on that long. And to not let it settle in the lines, I am gonna go in, so I always go with my finger. This is the Becca Under Eye Setting Powder, and I was going to like re-up when I heard Becca was going out of business, but I was like, I can't, because if I buy a few backups, yeah, they'll last a long time, but eventually at some point I'll be disappointed that I ran out and I can't get it anymore. So I was like, I'm just gonna have to find a new holy grail. And I'm really considering everybody's holy grail, which is the Pat McGrath Under Eye Setting Powder that comes in the small black compact. So let me know if that really is a true holy grail for you and if you think I'd enjoy it. I like hydration, but not a powdery look. So there is the side with the NARS concealer. It's nice. Looks promising, but we'll have to wear it and see. So next, let's try the new Lancôme. And I'll definitely, if I remember, leave a pinned comment. Okay, that has a little like pull to it. And it ended up splashing on my leg. So the Lancôme does have a larger doe foot applicator. However, it is like at an angle. It's nice. I don't mind it as long as it has the point. Okay, this is definitely more watery, not as drying as the NARS that I just tried. I feel like this will goes a long way, where the NARS I had to add. And I feel like the NARS was definitely more brightening, where this is more of a my skin shade. I will say, in looking at the amount of time, the expiration of the product, the Lancôme is a 6 month, and I know, yes, 24 months for the NARS. I will say I was impressed by that. I was like, wait, am I tripping? They usually don't last that long. So yeah, I looked at all of them. They're usually about 6 months. Every now and then you'll find one of a year, but I've never found one with 24 months until now. That's nice too. So this side has less coverage than this Lancôme. This Lancôme really covered well. I didn't have to add. It's more hydrating. It feels more hydrated. It's creamier and not as thick as the NARS. But the NARS is not bad, don't get me wrong. Especially if you like to color correct and you like to use less concealer, either one of these would work. I'll have to see how they wear. But upon initial application, I like the Lancôme more. But anything can change with wear time. So I'm gonna do the same with my finger. Apply my Becca Under Eye Setting Powder. And we'll see what happens. And I feel like the Lancôme is more, because it has more of that slip and it's not as drying, I was able to move that around easier. Where I feel I don't do it often, I'll do it now. I don't do it often, but if I do, I will say it has like a pull, like when you pull it out, that you have to be careful. I don't usually put I don't usually put concealer like this. Sometimes I do. Depends the mood I'm in. So I'm gonna try it with this one. I feel if I did this with the NARS, I feel I would have to do like one section at a time, because I feel it will dry down and you'll see where I initially placed that concealer. Hope that makes sense. Even if you blend it out, sometimes you see like the edges of where you placed it because it dries down so fast. I mean, don't get me wrong, I just tried the NARS for the first time, so I can't speak to that, but it gave me that impression. But this one's nice. I like it. I like the Lancôme so far, more than the NARS. The NARS definitely gets the job done. Don't get me wrong, if you're a NARS fan. I'm excited to see how they wear, because I probably have about 7 hours of wear before I take this off at the end of the night. Yeah. Okay. That's impressive so far. And if you've been with me for a while, you know, I used to not try out any concealers because I used to not. I'm just getting that under eye setting powder and setting where I lay down that concealer with my sponge. I used to not recommend any concealers because I was like, what is it with me and concealers? We just don't get along. And in watching Sean from Sean Kate Beauty, I realized maybe I'm just not hydrating under my eyes enough, which is something us oily skin gals tend to do too often. We neglect adding additional moisture to our skin, thinking it's going to make us oilier, when in turn, it's one of the best things you can do to your skin, because you're essentially tricking your skin to thinking it already produced those oils. So it takes your skin longer to produce them. It takes your skin longer to say, oh, you tricked me. And then they'll come out. So that's what I've been doing, just like really hydrating my under eye. So in the mornings, I've been like applying this. This is the Amore Pacific Time Response Eye Reserve Cream. Don't get me wrong, this is a deluxe sample and the true size is pricey. I believe it's $260, but a little goes a long way. This came full to the top, flat. And if you see, I've been using this since May, twice a day. So I use it in the morning as soon as I get up and do my skincare routine. And it's quite a few hours before I start doing my makeup. So like 15, 20 minutes before I do my makeup, I hydrate again. Oh, flawless, beautiful. So let's move on to the palette. So this is the packaging. It does have the ridges on the box, just like on the palette. It's this soft matte. On the back, you have your ingredients and a picture of the palette. So let's take a look at her. She does have a 12-month shelf life. Made in Italy. Here's the outer packaging with the ridges in there. You can see that. It's red. The packaging is beautiful. This was recommended to me by Cherie from Cherie Voyage. So I'm thinking we can do 2 eye looks with this. Why not? Oh, this little green matches my shirt. So why not? Let's get a couple looks in, see what we think. Now, you guys, believe it or not, considering all the makeup I have never tried a NARS powder product. I've tried the pot concealer and the soft matte foundation. That's it. So I remember one time Sephora had the Orgasm blush as a birthday gift, and I got it, and I think I ended up gifting it because it had like a sheen to it, and at the time I was anti-sheen anything because I was so oily. and I've just never tried it. I'm really interested in trying the Laguna bronzer or the cream ones that come in Laguna and Casino, and some blushes. Like, you guys let me know what are your go-to NARS powder products. So this would be my first impression with a NARS shadow, with NARS shadows, and I'm excited. So to start, I'm thinking we're just gonna do 2 looks and just go down these 2 rows. Whoop, why not? I'll start right here. So that was always my thing with NARS. I was always like, I don't know, do I want this? Do I want sheen? And now I just don't mind it at all. So this is this shade here, you can see it, but it's very true to my skin tone. It does give a light contour, if you can see there, kind of shaping the eye. So it's not bad. And I'm not like big into huge colors, but let me know if you guys are interested in seeing more colorful eye looks, because I've been kind of inspired lately. Go figure, why not? And if you didn't see that haul that I was just telling you I did on Instagram, and I also filmed it and put it here on YouTube. I'll have it down in the description box, but there's a colorful palette there. So let me know if you're interested. That's a nice shade. It just gives you that contour. So I'm just gonna soften the line of that shade here. I will say, upon looking at this palette, there isn't a shade that just stands out to me as an inner corner highlight or brow bone. But let me go ahead and just swatch these 3 shades that we're using in this look right here. I can appreciate, I thought these were going to be glittery, and it's not. It's a true shimmer. I can appreciate that, considering I'm not a glitter girl. So that green doesn't swatch well, but I don't think that means it's gonna not perform well. So those are the 3 shades we're gonna use on this eye. That green may very well be like black. You know, it's one of those shades that could perform well, but doesn't always swatch well. So I'm gonna, and that was a Luxie 205. Now I'm gonna use a Luxie 207. It's like an angled brush. And I dipped into that green. So I'm just going to deepen this outer corner and then bring that into the crease. I'm gonna dip into it again. It's one of those shades, since I've never played with NARS and I'm not sure how their pigmentation is, I just want to build up versus going in too stark and regretting it. Always easier to add than it is to remove or tone something down if you've gone too heavy. And I feel like with this green, you can really build it up and make it more of a smoky evening look, or keep it really light. So there's the green, and I haven't even blended that. I just placed it. So with that same brush we used with the first shade, not adding any color, I'm just going to soften those lines. So you know what? Now that I've swatched this shade, the shimmer shade, and I realize these are not glittery, I take it back. This one could totally be used as an inner corner and a brow highlight. I just thought, based on how they look on the pan and hadn't swatched them yet, I thought they were going to be glittery. They're not. So here are those 2 shades. Next, I'm going to go into this shade with my finger. I really like how that looks when I swatched it. Yes. Oh, that's pretty. And it's one of those shades, one of those shimmers you can build up. So, so pretty. I'm gonna try and I'm just dabbing. I'm not swiping because I don't want any fallout. I like that. I like these shimmers. That's a problem because now I'm going to want to try more NARS palettes. So I'm going to go back into that green and just blend that into that shimmer. And then bring it through the crease. And I'm just going to place it. That's pretty. And I didn't even have to go back in with that green. I could have kept it just how it was for a lighter look, but I really wanted that green to just pop more and give it more depth and really just distinguish that green shade. Really pretty. So next I'm going to use a Refer 26 and I'm going to go into this upper shade here. Let's swatch it. And I'll end up swatching all of them, even what we don't use. So this is the shade I think will be very nice as an inner highlight shade and a brow bone shade. So I'm going to use that dry on the inner corner. Yeah, that works. And see, so pretty. And I'm going to bring this up because I like to blend my inner corner shade into that inner third of the eye. And then I'm just gonna, that really pops. It's very nice. Maybe on this side we'll try wetting it. Very pretty. So I'm gonna go with that first brush I used, which is the Luxie 205. Just pick some up on the brush a little there and highlight the brow bone here. And then I'm going to clean off the brush and just blend all those together. Very pretty. I like it. So I did clean off my Refer 26 and I'm going to go into this green shade and do the lower lash. I'm just going to bring this on the outer half. Make sure I connect those two greens together. Then I'm going to go into this first shade, same brush, tap off the excess, and just do the rest of, I'm sweeping this across the entire lower lash line. I like that. As someone who does their face, their complexion before their shadow, I can appreciate that there is no fallout here. I feel like my lips are a little dry. I'm just gonna add this balm. It's the Chantecaille. What is this called? Lip Tint Hydrating Balm in the shade Beach Rose. It's just very hydrating. This is usually what I apply while I'm doing my makeup. And then I come back and add, I'll remove it and add the lipstick I'm gonna wear. I didn't know where I was going as far as eye looks or which palette I was going to play with today. So I don't have on any blush, just bronzer or highlight. But let's go ahead and do the second eye. And I'm going to go down this row here. So let's swatch those. This green shade just looks so pretty. I didn't even have to swivel my finger in there that much, honestly. That was so pretty. So these are the 3 shades we're gonna work with next. This green is stunning. It looks glittery, it's not. It is a true like shimmer. So I'm gonna stick with the same brushes. I have cleaned them in some Cinema Secrets. I'm gonna go into this shade first and kind of just do the same. Carve out the shape, bring it above the crease because I do have hooded eyes. And I'm gonna try to do a more upward shape versus outward and see what happens, because I somehow always end up with the same shape. It must be like my go-to shape. I feel although these look different in the pan, they went on really similarly in color. I mean, I went in really light. Let me see if I darken that up. Yeah, you can definitely darken it up. And it'll darken it up more than the other shade, but as light as the other shade looks in the pan, it really did give me a similar tone as this. And I'm pretty sure that's due to my undertones, but it's interesting. And that's that shade. I'm thinking we're gonna do the green all over the lid. Why not? So next I'm gonna go into this shade here with the angled Luxie 207, and I'm just gonna place that and then move it into the crease and a little above. I would have to clean this up. It's a darker shade, so it usually has fallout. It didn't fall out. I think I just placed it. This is my more difficult eye. I think it was the angle in which I placed the brush. So I did swipe that in right here by the lash just so I can ensure that that pigment gets close to the lash line. But I'm going to put a little more there. And there's that shade, not blended in. So I'm gonna go back with the Luxie 205 and I'm just gonna buff all that out. Windshield wiper and then circular motions, small circular motions, just to blend those two together. And just like I said, I end up with the same eye shape. You can always get a like a brush that you use with concealer. Like I use this flat angled brush. I don't know if it has a concealer on it right now, but it usually does. There you go. And you can just really clean that up with a line. Your concealer brush, you can give that shape that you want afterwards. And then you just tap it and the concealer line goes away. If you hear little footsteps, the kids are running around upstairs. They're watching a movie, eating popcorn in the sitting area of my bedroom, which is right above my filming room. And there you are, blended together. Those two shades go beautifully together. They really did blend really well. And there you are. And next I'm gonna go into that center green shade, which is this one we swatched right here. And I really wanna put this all over the lid. So I'm gonna apply it the same way with the finger because it really worked. And I'm gonna apply this all over the lid, leaving the smallest space on the inner corner. Actually, I'm gonna do the inner corner. We'll just blend the inner corner highlight into it. And I am bringing it above the crease just a tad because I want people to see the shade. That's so pretty. Here you go. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. I wasn't sure about this green, but I'm digging it. I'm gonna go back like I did in the other eye into this burgundy shade here and just give that depth out here on the outer V, blend it into that green. Oh, that's pretty. What do you think? Oh, I like it. Okay, I'm excited. So I'm gonna go back into this shade here. So I'm gonna try wetting this one this time and see how it performs wet. And I'm gonna wet that with the MAC Fix Plus. Let's give it a try. It definitely performs wet as well. I am gonna give that a little more oomph. There you go. I did wet it again, and I'm gonna bring it up and blend it into the green and bring it down just a tad on the lower lash line. Okay, that is beautiful. I've never been one to slap like a dark shade all over my lid like that, but okay, green. Okay, NARS. So now for the lower lash line, I'm gonna go back into this burgundy shade, just pinch the brush and bring this on the outer third. And because I wet that brush, I'm not gonna go back with that brush. I'm gonna go in with my Tom Ford 14 into this top shade and then finish bringing that all the way across the lower lash line. But it blended into that inner highlight I brought down and into this burgundy shade that we brought down, and just thicken that out a little bit, but soften it. Okay, that is pretty. Pretty. What do you think? I like this palette. I like both looks. I really like both. And I really like the green. These are like, you can easily like do a combo of just two shades for easy looks. Like this matte green with this shimmer. Like you could put this into the crease and buff it out and put this all over the lid. You could do the same with this and this. Oh, so pretty. Now that I've played with the formula, I'm inspired. Like, oh, this is a look. Oh, this is a look. This is a look. All over the place. But I really like them. So let me put on some liner and mascara and I'll be right back. Okay, psych. I applied the eyeliner, but I forgot we were gonna try the NARS Climax Mascara. So I came back without mascara. So I did apply a brown, I did tight line my upper lash line with, on the waterline with a brown, an Urban Decay, the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Smoke Out. And on the lower waterline for both eyes, I used the Tom Ford in Metallic Mink, Metallic Moss, which is this green shade here. So that's what I did with both. Now let's give this mascara a try. I will say she's large in size as far as the packaging. She does have a large wand, which I can appreciate. And it does look like it is a like plastic silicone wand versus the natural bristle hairs that I tend to like more. I'm not really picky with mascara wands. I do prefer larger wands. It's definitely lengthening and volumizing. I did get some on my inner corner there, but we will clean that in just a second. Okay, so I did clean that off. I will say I don't like the way it appeared on my bottom lashes, so I'm just getting a spoolie. If you've never tried this trick, it's awesome. If you ever feel they're too like clumped together, if there's too much product, which is usually the case when it's a brand new mascara. Nothing against the mascara. Sometimes they're just too wet. I find what works best for me is not like a lash brush like this. Those just don't work for me. I prefer a spoolie. And I'm gonna show you. So like the bottom lashes were all had like little clumps. And I will show you in just a second. I'm not sure if you can see that, but they all look separated but coated. That looks a lot better once I use the spoolie. What do you think? It's nice. I will say it's a nice mascara. It's honestly all going to be in how it wears. Am I going to get the little flakes? Am I going to get raccoon eyes? Is it going to transfer? I don't believe 94% achieved instant extreme volume, 100% saw extreme black color, 87% saw no smudging. Okay, it is a volumizing mascara. I will say it is volumizing. As far as length, it just emphasized my length because I have pretty decently sized lashes as far as length goes. But I do think it might be one of those mascaras that I may enjoy more once it's a little drier. But I'm not mad at it because that just means I'm gonna get my full lifeline of the product out of this. If they're too dry in the beginning, I feel like if it's a 6-month mascara, I might get 3 months out of it, and so on and so forth. So again, not sure if you can see how they're kind of clumped together right there. They kind of have a little bit of clumping. So I'll just get the spoolie and I brush them. The bottom ones, like I literally just curl them into the brush and into the spoolie and then pull. And then the upper ones, I use the spoolie as a mascara wand, and it really just does wonders. And there you are. Here are both eye looks with liner and mascara. What do you think? I really like both looks. I'm not gonna lie. I would honestly wear both looks day or night. Like, it doesn't matter. Like that whole stigma of you should wear this on day or night. I'm not about that life. But let me put on some blush and lipstick and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I did apply the Patrick Ta She's So LA blush, Victoria Beckham lip liner in shade 4, and the Propa Beauty lipstick in the shade Finesse. Okay, so for my final thoughts, in regards to the palette, I am really enjoying this palette, this formula. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch these last 3 shades for you, which were, I only didn't use 2 shades, but I'm looking forward to them. And this is a whole look right here, you guys. This is a whole look, this whole situation. So I did these 3 as a look, these 3 as a look, and then I kept using this as the inner corner highlight and brow bone. And these are the 3 shades I didn't use. I am loving this formula. The shimmers remind me of, they're not as creamy, but the same shimmer quality as a Natasha Denona. They're not as creamy, but they don't have the fallout. That you still get that intense color payoff. I'm impressed. I'm impressed by these NARS shadows. I really am. I didn't go into this with high expectations because it's new to me. I've heard mixed reviews in the past. I will say with this palette, the 1 or 2 reviews I've seen, as well as their last release palette, I also had great reviews. And that's when I said, you know what? Maybe it's changed. Maybe it's more consistent. So I am enjoying this. I would recommend this. If these are shades that speak to you, you would love this palette. It is great quality. The mattes blended well. The green didn't swatch. The matte green didn't swatch great, but it performed beautifully. They blended well into each other. There was no fallout. I got absolute no fallout. And trust me, you guys know me. You know, if there's fallout, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, because I don't like fallout, especially with shimmer shades. But I did apply it with the finger. I didn't swipe with the finger, and I didn't use a brush. They performed great on this eye wet, the inner corner shade that I used. I'm just impressed. I really, really like these, and I'm already ready to use these 3. I might just do like a quick video with those, or do them on Instagram. I'm not sure. Let me know. As far as the concealers go, so it's been 1 hour since I've applied these concealers. I will say, as far as coverage goes, I still like this side better. Not sure if you can tell, there's still a little darkness right here that's kind of like sinking this eye in, where this is more bright and lifted so it looks more alive. Just in my opinion, let me know what you think. Yeah, it's definitely like just this deepening here. As far as formula goes, I did like the Lancôme better than the NARS. However, the NARS 24-month shelf life was quite impressive, I may add. But I'm gonna have to keep wearing this. I don't see either one of them settling into the lines under my eyes, the lines that we all have. They're not settling. The powder did set them down well. They're not moving. I will just say, I think the formula so far and the coverage of the Lancôme is just more of a preference for me than the NARS, but not saying the NARS is bad. Maybe next time I will just have to apply a little more. And the mascara. I'm really liking the mascara. If you can see, it's really, there you go. You can see that on the Prince picture. My lashes are long. They look voluminous. They look like a natural pair of falsies, actually. But I really, let me see if you can see this side. Not sure if you can see it. They look really good. They look very black, volumizing. They're not volumized where they're clumped together. They are fanned out. However, keep in mind that I did go in with the spoolie. That's just because the formula was too wet, usually, like when you use a new mascara. But it's all going to be in how it wears. And if this video goes up and there's not a pinned comment, one of y'all let me know, hey, Lean, how did it wear? And because I'm pretty sure I'll write it down right before I take off my makeup. It's just sometimes I forget to put a pinned comment. But that is it, you guys. Here's the final look. Let me know what you think. Do you like one eye better than the other? Did you pick this up? Are you planning on picking this up? I'm really enjoying it. I really, really am. I'm not into face palettes, so I don't think I'll pick up like the NARS face palettes. But the shadow palettes, we shall see. But that's it, you guys. Thank you all so much for coming. And until next time, don't forget, we're all perfectly imperfect. Bye.